Have you noticed that almost every SUV on the road today looks like a giant angry jelly bean? They keep getting bigger, they keep getting softer, and they keep getting more complicated. But what if you want the legendary toughness of a world-conquering off-roader, but you also need to park in a normal-sized grocery store parking lot without holding your breath? Welcome back to Crownline Reviews, where we get behind the wheel of the cars you actually want to drive. Today, we are looking at something that has the entire automotive world buzzing. This is the 2026 Toyota Mini Land Cruiser, and it might just be the smartest, most exciting vehicle Toyota has built in a decade. For years, we have been begging automakers to give us something fun, capable, and reasonably sized. We watched the original Land Cruisers grow from nimble mountain goats into massive, luxurious land yachts. They are incredible machines, but they are huge and they are expensive. Then we had the beloved FJ Cruiser, which was fantastic, but it had the aerodynamic profile of a brick and blind spots big enough to hide a school bus. Toyota knew they needed to dig into their heritage and bring back the magic of the classic FJ40, but package it for the modern world. They needed to create a vehicle that honors the legendary Land Cruiser badge, but makes it accessible, efficient, and perfectly sized for everyday adventures. And looking at this machine sitting here today, I think they have absolutely nailed it. Let us start by just taking in the sheer presence of this vehicle. Just look at it. The color alone is enough to stop you in your tracks. It is this incredibly deep, glossy, metallic ruby red that looks like a candy apple under the studio lights. It is a color that demands attention without being obnoxious, and it perfectly highlights the muscular, boxy body lines. Toyota has masterfully blended retro charm with modern aggression. Up front, you are immediately greeted by that classic blacked-out rectangular grille featuring the bold, white TOYOTA lettering spelled out proudly. No modern oval badge here, just pure, unadulterated heritage. Flanking that grille are these brilliant round LED headlights, but they are not just simple circles. They have this thick, bright white halo daytime running light that gives the car an intense, focused stare, almost like it is daring you to take it off the pavement. Right next to those round lights, tucked neatly into the black housing, are these sharp little rectangular amber turn signals. It is a direct visual callback to the classic cruisers of the past, but executed with crisp, modern LED technology. Below that, you have a chunky, purposeful matte black front bumper. It houses round fog lights and features a rugged lower section that looks ready to brush off tall grass and gravel. And yes, right there in the center, it proudly wears a license plate that simply says Mini. Moving up the front, you cannot miss that aggressive hood scoop. Now, whether it is feeding air to a top-mounted intercooler or just there to make the car look incredibly tough, it works. It gives the driver a fantastic view from the front seat, constantly reminding you that you're driving something special. As we walk around to the side, the proportions are just perfect. It has these heavily flared, squared-off black wheel arches that give it a wide, planted stance. It looks like a bulldog ready to pounce. Those black arches tie in beautifully with the thick black side steps, the black door handles, the black side mirrors, and the sturdy black roof rails up top. The two-tone effect between that brilliant ruby red paint and the rugged black accents is absolutely stunning. And we have to talk about these wheels. Toyota did not just slap on some boring steelies. These are large, multi-spoke black alloy wheels, but if you look closely, they have these delicate silver machined accents on the rim edges and around the center cap. It adds a touch of premium sophistication to an otherwise very rugged profile. They are wrapped in tires that look like a great compromise, meaty enough to handle a dirt trail on the weekend, but smooth enough that they will not drone and hum when you are cruising down the highway on a Tuesday morning. It is a design that says you appreciate the finer things, but you are not afraid to get your boots muddy. Now, because we are looking at this fresh out of the design studio, we cannot physically climb inside just yet, but Toyota has been very clear about their philosophy for the Mini Land Cruiser's cabin. If you are the kind of person who is tired of everything being controlled by a giant, smudge-covered touchscreen, you are going to love this. Toyota is bringing back the tactile joy of physical buttons and chunky dials. Imagine grabbing a thick, rubberized dial to turn up the heat, feeling a satisfying mechanical click with every turn. Imagine seats wrapped in a highly durable, water-resistant fabric that you can easily wipe down after a day at the beach or a hike in the rain. The interior is designed to be a base camp. It will have all the modern technology you actually need: wireless phone charging, seamless smartphone integration, and a crisp digital driver display. But it will be housed in a dashboard that feels like a piece of high-end outdoor gear. The upright windshield and boxy roofline mean that visibility is going to be spectacular. You will be able to see exactly where the corners of the hood are, which is crucial whether you are navigating a tight rocky trail or just trying to squeeze into a compact parking space at the mall. It is designed to be a space that feels open, airy, and incredibly practical for a small family or a couple of adventurers and their dogs. Underneath that sculpted hood, Toyota is playing it smart. The days of thirsty, heavy V8 engines in small SUVs are over. The Mini Land Cruiser is built on a shortened version of Toyota's incredibly strong global truck platform, and it is expected to be powered by a highly efficient, torque-We hybrid 4-cylinder engine. We are talking about a powertrain that gives you the instant electric punch you need to get moving quickly from a stoplight, combined with the long-range peace of mind of a traditional gas engine. You are likely looking at somewhere around 250 horsepower, but more importantly, a massive wave of low-end torque. Torque is what actually pushes you back in your seat, and it is what pulls you up a steep, muddy hill. By using a hybrid system, Toyota can deliver that power smoothly and efficiently. And because it wears the Land Cruiser name, you know it is not just a front-wheel drive hatchback playing dress-up. This will feature a proper, full-time four-wheel drive system. It will have a 2-speed transfer case for low-range crawling and likely a locking rear differential to ensure that if you get stuck, it is your own fault, not the car's. It is a vehicle that promises to be just as capable in a foot of fresh snow as it is on dry summer asphalt. Though what is it actually going to feel like to drive? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever driven a massive, full-size SUV through a crowded city? It is stressful. You are constantly checking your mirrors, worrying about scraping the wheels and praying you can find a parking spot big enough. The brilliance of the Mini Land Cruiser is that it completely eliminates that stress. Because of its compact footprint, driving this through city traffic is going to feel like driving a nimble little hatchback. The steering will be light but precise, allowing you to dart through intersections and slide into parallel parking spots with absolute ease. The moment you leave the city limits and hit the open highway, that robust truck frame underneath you goes to work. Unlike a lot of small crossover SUVs that feel nervous and twitchy at high speeds, the Mini Land Cruiser will feel planted and secure. The suspension is tuned to absorb potholes and rough pavement without sending shockwaves up your spine. And when the weekend arrives and you decide to take that dirt road that leads to the lake, the vehicle transforms again. The suspension articulates, the four-wheel drive system grips the loose gravel, and you feel an overwhelming sense of confidence. It is a car that encourages you to explore simply because it makes exploring so effortless. Let us talk about the reality of owning this vehicle day in and day out. This is where the Toyota badge really earns its keep. If you buy a quirky retro-styled SUV from some other brands, you might spend half your ownership experience sitting in the waiting room of the service department. But this is a Toyota. It is built with a philosophy of extreme durability. The running costs are going to be remarkably low for a vehicle with this much capability. The hybrid powertrain means you will be spending significantly less time and money at the gas station compared to traditional off-roaders. Insurance costs should be reasonable, and depreciation. Well, if history tells us anything about Toyota trucks and SUVs, this thing is going to hold its value like gold. You are buying a vehicle that you could realistically keep for 20 years, pass down to your kids, and it will still start up every single morning. It is a vehicle that fits perfectly into the reality of daily life. It is small enough to be an easy daily commuter, spacious enough to handle a massive grocery run, and tough enough to survive the chaotic, messy reality of family life. It is not a delicate showpiece. It is a tool designed to make your life better and more fun. So who is the 2026 Toyota Mini Land Cruiser actually for? It is for the person who looks at the current landscape of boring, egg-shaped crossovers in size. It is for the driver who wants a vehicle with genuine personality, real heritage, and actual capability, but who does not want to sacrifice fuel economy or maneuverability to get it. If you need to tow a massive 10,000-pound boat, or if you need 3 rows of seating for a family of 7, this is not the car for you. You should go look at a Sequoia or a full-size Land Cruiser. But if you want a vehicle that makes you smile every time you walk up to it in the driveway, a vehicle that turns a mundane commute into a little bit of an event, this is it. Toyota has managed to capture the rugged, adventurous soul of their most famous vehicle and distill it into a package that makes perfect sense for the modern world. It is a triumph of design and engineering. Thank you so much for joining me today on Crownline Reviews. If you loved this deep dive, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a review. We have a lot more incredible cars coming your way very soon. Until next time, remember, the best roads are usually the ones that don't have any pavement.